Hello, welcome once again, boxing fans from around the world, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining us. Another episode of Olympic boxing coming up your way, courtesy of Christian from the Friday night panel. And just a couple of quick short stories and follow-ups today. And I think we'll be in and out of here pretty quickly, right?
I think so. You know how we start most of these the last little while with me telling you, fortunately, no news is good news, and there's been no rule changes, personnel changes, venue. We can't do that one today, unfortunately, because once again, unfortunately, we've had someone high up in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics put their foot in their mouth again. So, Tokyo Olympics creative chief has resigned now, after suggesting that a female comedian could appear as an Olympig, that's Pig, in the latest setback for these games. And this isn't the first time Hashimoto had to resign before this. So, Hiroshi Sasaki said that a plus-size entertainer, Naomi Watanabe, could wear a pig ears at the opening ceremony.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, he did later apologize and admitted that his remarks were, quote, a huge insult to her. Miss Watanabe has yet to respond as of now, or as last I had looked into this here. So Mr. Sasaki said in a statement afterwards, there was a very inappropriate expression in my ideas and remarks. I sincerely apologize to her and the people who have felt discomfort with such content. Now, Miss Watanabe is one of Japan's most famous comedians and is known for her celebrity impersonations as well as her body positivity advocacy work. Mr. Sasaki was in charge of the Olympic opening and closing ceremonies. Not anymore. So no news as of yet on his replacement. Organizers have said that the current Games president, Sasaki Hashimoto, plans to address the matter at a news conference at some point today. So I'll be keeping you updated on that one. So we're having another change in leadership in the run-up to the Games here. And frankly, I'm not too sad to see the back of this guy on this one. Even his apology didn't particularly sound heartfelt. He didn't really admit any guilt. All he said was, "I'm sorry you're offended by this." He didn't apologize. He said, I'm sorry I offended Miss Watanabe, but he didn't acknowledge that there was anything wrong with what he said. He didn't acknowledge how hurtful what he said could have been, and all he basically said was, "Well, I'm sorry I got caught, and this text chain came to light, and I'm sorry that you're offended by it." So I'm curious to see who they'll put in place behind him, but whatever it is going to be a step in the right direction. And hopefully this is the last personnel change, especially for a reason this stupid, that we have to see. In this day and age, this should all be relegated to the past. So hopefully we don't see any more of this in the run-up to the Games. But let's get off that. Let's talk about something a little bit more positive right now. As you know, lately we've been focused pretty heavily on Europe and Asia in the headlines that we've been covering. So I thought I'd check in to see on what was going on in Africa, because it's been a little while since we've looked in. And I came across a positive story out of North Africa, Libya specifically, where things are starting to look up for their amateur fighters. Boxing, considered a savage sport and banned since the 1970s by former Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi, is now making a comeback in the country. So good news there. A camp for the Libyan boxing team has been held in Tunisia over the past 3 weeks in preparation for the Africa Zone 3 boxing championships in Kinshasa. Now, those are kicking off this weekend on the 20th of March. So after a long absence from the ring due to global coronavirus pandemic, the Confederation of African Boxing has seen fit to maintain this competition in Kinshasa as an opportunity to, quote unquote, bring back confidence to African boxers for the upcoming Tokyo 2020, again in quotation marks, Olympics. During Gaddafi's reign, boxing was banned for more than 30 years. Boxing, however, is now making a return to the ring since the fall of the old regime. And that is despite limited infrastructure, investment in equipment, and limited gyms, which does, raise concerns over the safety of the athletes at this point in time. But they are moving in the right direction. So, and at the time of the ban, when that first came into effect in the 1970s, Libya was considered widely to be the second best as far as national teams in Africa. the country's most famous and arguably famous boxer, arguably a pioneer in that country, Guibran Zugdani. Again, always apologize for the pronunciations on these. Took part in the actually boxed in the 1976 Olympics in Montreal, although he did fail to medal at that Olympics. Who knows where they could have gone had that ban not come into effect. The Confederation of African Boxing has invited, not counting Libya, has invited 13 countries to this Zone 3 tournament. They're going to be the host country, obviously, the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Somalia, Rwanda, Burundi, Cameroon, Congo-Brazzaville, Ethiopia, Central African Republic, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon. So regarding this tournament, so it should be a great tournament. And that's kicking off, like I said, over the weekend, just as the current Bosphorus tournament is wrapping up in Istanbul. This one will be kicking off in Kinshasa. Regarding this tournament, though, as well, we've also heard a little bit from the Kenyans in the run-up to this tournament. Kenyan national boxing team coach Musa Benjamin has said that they aim to win the Zone 3 titles when this tournament gets underway this upcoming Saturday. Musa also said that this was an opportunity to test the preparedness of Nick Okath and Christine Ongare towards the Olympics in Tokyo. As well as a time to look towards potential emerging boxers from that region. He was quoted as saying, "It will be a very good stage for our boxers who have qualified for the Olympics to gauge how well prepared they are for those Olympics. We would really love to win Zone 3 championships. It will also put some experience to our new boxers making their debut at this competition. We pray to God to grant us good health so that we can represent Kenya, the flag with the respect it deserves." So that's the big news today. We've had another change in leadership out of Tokyo, and the Kenyans as well as the Libyans are, and most of East Africa by the sounds of it at this point in time, are gearing up for the Zone 3 championships that'll be taking place in Kinshasa, the Democratic Republic of Congo, kicking off over the weekend. Those are our headlines from around the world today, Graham.
Thank you very much. It's great news out of Africa. Not so surprising news out of Tokyo. And I look forward to tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing any Libyans at this upcoming Tokyo Olympics unless by some miracle they're granted one of the slots that are going to be handed out through the Tripartite Commission. So, but at this point, it's unlikely. But from a country that back in the 70s was a boxing powerhouse, it's nice to see them starting to move. And I think we can probably say that we can look forward to seeing them in Paris in 2024.
Yeah, good. Great. Fantastic news, actually. Good to see Libya rebounding. I was this far away from getting there.
Anyway. I remember.
Yes, it's a good story. Anyway, another day. Thank you very much, Christian. Appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Always a pleasure.